Hey everyone, so this is going to be a review or like a show and tell kind of video of another foundation, and this time it's going to be the MatchMaster Foundation SPF 15. So this is it here. It comes in a glass bottle. There's 35ml in the bottle, which is 5ml more than most of the other MAC foundations, and I think it retails for around 35 or 36ish. Maybe 34, I'm not sure. I know it's a little bit more expensive, like a couple of euro more expensive than some of the other foundations. It does come with its own pump, which is handy, so you don't need to purchase a separate pump like you do with the Select and the Studio Fix Fluid. And of course it's available in Ireland in all Brown Thomas stores, so that's where you get it here. Now, as far as the foundation itself, its kind of main selling point is that it adapts to everyone's own skin tone. I mean the actual undertone of your skin. So it doesn't come in NWs or Ns or NCs like the rest of the MAC foundations. So like, you know, the neutral cools and the neutral warms. This comes in shades from 1.0, it goes up to 1.5, then 2, then 3, then 4, and all the way up till 10. And it's supposed to adapt to your own skin tone. So whether you're like yellow based or more pink based, neutral, cool, whatever, it will adapt to your own skin tone. The reason or the way that happens is that it contains these transparent spheres, like little particles in the actual formula that is, you know, in with the rest of the ingredients, but it allows the light to come through those transparent spheres or particles and allows your own skin tone then to show through. So that's basically how that's supposed to work. Now, as far as other ingredients go, it does contain titanium dioxide. Now, for myself, being quite pale, it doesn't necessarily make me look glowy, but maybe for the more medium to darker skin tones, it might be a little bit more noticeable in photography. It does contain 1%, I think, titanium dioxide, so it's a little bit higher in the ingredients than it sometimes is in other foundations. It's a SPF of 15 though, so it's not like the highest ever. Now, the colour I am is this number 1. It is a very liquid foundation. I'd say it's way more suitable for combination oily skins. It is said to be a natural matte foundation but moisturising. I don't actually find it moisturising, but it is a nice natural matte. I don't find it's too drying or flat or anything like that, but any dry areas you have, or if you are on the drier side, it isn't maybe the best foundation for that. I find that it can just look a little bit too dry on that. It does contain powders as well. These are supposed to be soft focus powders, so they're supposed to blur like fine lines and stuff like that. I don't really know if I'd have noticed that very much, but that would be one of the reasons why I mightn't like it for dry skin as well. And it would be more of a like medium coverage. I wouldn't say it's very full by any means. It's more of a light to medium coverage. You can build up to a good medium coverage, but you probably do need concealer then to go over any blemishy areas or anything like that. So that's pretty much all of the sound bites really that I can think of for this. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply it. I probably need about 2 pumps. So there it is there. You can see there it's not particularly yellow or pink or anything like that. It is actually quite neutral looking, and it's fluid without being like really drippy or anything like that. So it's a nice kind of consistency, and I pretty much apply it with any of my like duo fibre kind of brushes. So the one I'm using today is just this Gemma Kid foundation brush. Again, it's just one of those duo fibre blending or buffing brushes or stippling brushes, and just pick up a little bit just on the tip. You don't want too much. I will say that I did moisturise well underneath because, like I said, it wouldn't suit if you have any drier areas, and I was just out of the shower, so I was worried that my skin might be a bit too dry for it if I didn't really moisturise well. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of it on. You can see there it's quite a bit paler when I first stick it on my face, but once I blend it in it's fine and it matches up to my neck quite well. I would say it evens out the skin tone pretty well, but it doesn't cover all my flaws by any means. So the shade range does go from 1.0 up to 10.0, but there are a few more shades than 10 because there's a couple of 0.5s in between as well. But it does contain pretty much the lightest foundation. This one here I'd say is lighter than an NC15. It would be more like maybe an N10 if we were to categorise it like that. And then the number 10 that they have as well is very dark. And it's a nice because it's not too red and not too gold. So one more thing I'd say when applying this foundation as well is I don't bring it up around the eye area. I'll leave it clear, so I'll bring it up to that just underneath the orbital bone there, and then I'll just apply my under eye concealer, because it is a drier foundation, not like the Max Factor Elixir one where I did pop it under because that was more moisturising. But I don't mind putting it on my eyelids up here. Right, so that's it on with one full pass and one full covering over my face. So you can see there it does pay me down quite a bit, but it's a fairly decent match to my neck. So it's, you know, one that I probably would wear the most out of all the MAC range personally. One thing I will say is that there's no need to powder if you are on the more normal side, unless you're worried about transference or you want to wear it for a long time. The only place I'd really powder would be maybe around the nose area, a little bit on the forehead, anywhere where I would get a little bit oily after a few hours, but I'd nearly leave it a while before I powder. But it does dry and sit nice onto the skin and all that, so it is a foundation that I quite love. Not my favourite foundation in the world, but it is a really nice foundation. A nice kind of daytime one. I might use something a little bit heavier for nighttime, or maybe something that has, yeah, pretty much something that has maybe a tiny bit more coverage. But other than that, that's it. So yeah, if you have any questions, leave them below as usual. But in the meantime, thanks a million for watching, and I hope this was helpful. Take care, guys. Slán!